Thank you, everybody. Good evening, Kolkata. So let me quickly start. I have got just 20 minutes and I have got more slides. I'll try my level best to finish well within the time frame. So network AI solution by Telesis, how we are developing network operated solutions. And I'll quickly take you through corporate introduction. Who we are? We are 36-year-old Japanese company started in 1987, and I don't get into this revenue and other things because we have to cover most important things. This is the footprint of Telesis. If you look at, we are there in 24 countries, 35 regions. We have got 7 R&D centers across the globe, 160 global patents that talks about innovation in Telesis, being Japanese companies, and we have got 2 factories completely owned and managed by Japanese staff, one in China and one in Singapore, and we can churn out big bomb in a couple of weeks. And logistics centers, we have got 3 logistics centers. For APAC, we use Singapore, and we have got 7,000 plus paying customers, and our team size is 1,700 members across the globe. And if you look at end-to-end network solution offering from Telesis, we are purely network OEM, and we have no product gaps to offer you end-to-end networking solutions, starting from core switches, aggregation, industrial grade switches, your modules, NIC cards, media converters, wireless, SD-WAN devices, IPS devices, and finally AI/ML-led SDN controller. So if you look at the cost-effective product portfolio from Telesis, we fit into all SMB, mid and large enterprise segment. So we have got various product-based services. 5-year warranty we provide for all Telesis devices free of cost, and we have got net.cover services for next business to shipment and other things. And under net.campus, we run various LAN, WLAN, cyber security training programs, and we have net.professional services to enable our partners to design and configure the complex networks. So we also have got various cloud-based services. So how we are different from others is we have a 24/7 NOC and monitoring center. We will not just give you cloud platform, we will give you configuration assistant, management, monitoring from our side. So AMF security is a security engine which will talk to various third-party cyber security applications in eliminating cyber security threats from the access layer. I am going to explain you about this in the upcoming slides. Net.AMF is again a LAN automation tool sitting in our cloud, completely managed and monitored by Telesis staff. Net.AWC is again wireless controller, completely AI-led wireless controller we have, which is again managed and monitored by Telesis NOC center. So we have got 13 offices across APAC, and let me get into a detailed solution introduction. So customer journey by Telesis, we have been developing automated network operation technologies, and now we are talking about AI/ML SDN-led technologies. No more we are talking about products, right? So this is the trend now. So we are following that, and how we are making your network smarter using AI/ML SDN technologies. So actually there are 5 major causes which will bring your network down. So how you are addressing these, how you are mitigating these in quickly fixing the issues and ensuring that you have 99.999% network availability. So of course a device or technology failure, human error, we are talking about not just tens of devices, we are talking about hundreds of intelligent devices, right? Intelligent layer 3 switches. To manage those devices, of course you will have to have skilled resources. And when you are configuring multiple devices, of course there is a chance of human error. So how we are eliminating that, and cyber security. So now you all know that cyber security threat is it's very big threat nowadays, because we are talking about tons of IT, IoT, OT devices, and ISP outages. This is also one of the challenges, because we host most of our applications on the cloud, and ISP becomes very essential part. If you lose your ISP connection, then you are out of your network. So how we are addressing that? And disaster. So you should have multi-platform capabilities. Let's say if I give you controller, if it is only on-prem or only cloud, then it doesn't make any sense, right? So if I give you on-prem controller or on-device, on cloud, so you can choose based on your requirement. So how we are addressing these using AI, ML or SDN driven technologies to minimize your network downtime and your operational expenditure. We have two portions in this: visibility and actionability. Visibility becomes very, very important, where you get a complete glimpse of your network, and then you have actionability. Once you know your network, then you can automate various actions, right? So these are the technologies what we are talking about. AMF is nothing but autonomous management framework. This is the LAN automation engine, completely AI-led engine, and we have got AMF WAN, nothing but your AST WAN, and we have got AMF security, very, very interesting engine which will eliminate a source of infection within a second or two. Getting integrated with top 30 cyber security applications or appliances. And the next AWC is autonomous wave control, AI enabled wireless controller. And finally, we have got Vista Manager X, single point of single pane of glass intuitive interface, which will give you a complete control of your network, wherein you can manage, monitor and operate your entire network without having different platforms. So this is the only platform we have. You can manage LAN, WLAN, cyber security, everything you can manage from single platform. So AMF, so if you can see AMF, AI-led engine, you can enable it in the switch, and you can enable it in the dedicated appliance on-prem. You can enable it in the virtual machine, and you can host it in the public or private cloud. So we have got great flexibility in adopting this wired controller. So what it does is automatic device detection. You don't need separate inventory management system. Even if you have separate inventory management system, it is very difficult to get it integrated with your NMS, right? So AMF is capable enough to detect your end devices using various methodologies, not only SNMP, based on MAC addresses, based on FDB, based on ARP, based on DHCP snooping. Let's say you have IoT, OT devices, right? And you cannot enable SNMP in them, but we can detect. Once you detect the devices, once you have visibility of your network, then you can do wonders in the network. So now you know, okay, these are the CCTV devices, these are the OT, IoT devices. Once you have this a glimpse of your network, you can automatically run various ACLs and quality of service, wherein CCTV devices are only talking to VMS servers, medical devices are only talking to HMS devices, something like that, right? So this guy takes automatic backup on regular basis and automatic provisioning. Again, we are talking about zero touch provisioning, very, very interesting. Let's say you have one of the buildings coming, and you can just ask any of the human resource. I'm not talking about technical resource, any human resource. You just ask him, take the switch, go there, and there is a cable coming from the headquarters. You just plug it. That's it. You don't need any technical resource to onboard the device, unlike other OEMs. And next we have got automatic firmware upgrade. So firmware upgradation is very, very essential, because you have to keep your network up to date to eliminate various bugs to get the enhanced functionalities. And this guy is intelligent enough to push the correct firmware to the correct devices. And this one is most important and interesting technology is what we have, zero touch recovery. Everybody talks about zero touch recovery, but how user friendly, how easy it is to replace the switch, right? So now I'm going to talk about one use case here. So we have a big manufacturing plant customer. They produce about 12,000 tires a day. Okay, so if one switch goes down, then to replace that particular switch, you need a technical resource on site. You know that manufacturing plants are most of the times outskirts, right? And to have technical resource 24/7, you are spending money on OPEX, right? So now with that, they had a problem, right? Then they said, Sachin, do you have kind of a zero touch recovery? Because everybody talks about zero touch recovery, but you need some sort of manual intervention to onboard the device. Somebody sitting at the central site, or someone who is capable enough to configure the failed device, failed device and replace it. So that will definitely take more than an hour to half a day. If you have backup, at least it will take more than an hour. So what we do is, we have demonstrated it to them, and actually they have used a floor cleaner to replace this switch. And you know what? In less than 5 minutes, switch is up and operational, excluding the time of traveling and connecting. You can just call him, boss, you take a new switch, or there is a spare switch. You just connect the cable from port number 1 to 1, 2 to 2, something like that. Once it is done, turn it on. Within 5 minutes, your network is up and operational without any human intervention or technical resource intervention, right? So now we are talking about, it was a reactive approach, right? So if devices are going down, how quickly you are restoring the devices. Now we are talking about proactive approach. So we have got preventive hardware maintenance as well as click and run configurations, right? So what we do here is, you can see this. This is your health monitoring dashboard. This gives you a complete glimpse of your wired network. So there are various KPIs or various parameters such as CPU, memory, temperature, fan, etc. And you can see the score of your network. Let's say your score of network is 99%. So let's say this 99% in memory, you can see there is something wrong in one of the device memory. So you can quickly access the device and you can quickly fix it. So before your hardware goes down, you know that what is the issue in the network, and you can take the preventive actions. And AI based network operation help you in executing complex configurations like ACLs and quality of services across the network, right? Let's say you don't have these technology. Let's say you'll have to block traffic from X department to Y department, and there are hundreds of switches, and the network engineer has to check what is the source and what is the destination where he has to apply. So with this, what we can do is, we have got a matrix something like this. You can choose what is the source and what is the destination, and with a single click, it will ensure that the quality ACLs and quality of services are configured in respective switches. So it eliminates your complexity. Yeah. So in quality of service also it is similar. So it is very, very complex subject matter. So it requires minimum half an hour to configure each and every switch. So this makes your life easier. You can see something like this. There are many queues. One of the queue is highly consumed. So with this, it is automatically enabling all queues are equally distributed. So AWC, autonomous wave control, wireless controller, completely AI led. And if you can see, this is the controller, and again this controller can be enabled on the switch, on the appliance, on the virtual machine, on public or private cloud. The biggest USP what we have here is 24/7 radio and channel data collection. So we are talking about big data in your own devices. Okay, so everybody talks about AI, right? So then they need to collect details and put it in their big data lake, and then they will run analytics, and then they will give you optimization. We are not going to share your data with anybody. We are not clubbing your data with anybody to give you optimization. So we are using your own data in your own premises, and we run AI ML engine to optimize your network. So something like this. So you have multiple channels, and here important thing, we are using 6-hour historical records of power, 24-hour historical records of channel to optimize your wireless network, and we are using game theory driven designing. So for this we have got patent, and this is very powerful when you are having your wireless network on the shared floor. let's say now everybody is carrying your Wi-Fi and you are enabling your hotspot, you are increasing the interferences, right? So with this game theory, we are ensuring that we will give you the best of the best optimization in the wireless. So the summary is like, we collect more data and we do more analytics and we give you the precise optimization compared to others, where others are using only scheduled based scan and they are collecting limited data. So this is quite interesting. So Wi-Fi is always invisible. So you cannot imagine or you cannot see Wi-Fi. In wired network you can see actually, okay, that is the switch, this is the cable. You can actually see a topology in the NMS, but in the wireless you don't see that. So what we give you, using these 5 key parameters, so we will monitor the data and we will optimize your wireless network, and we will give you a glimpse of wireless network, right? Something like this. So your wireless score, how good is your wireless? So if your comfort level is more, then your wireless is really healthy. So now if you click on one of the floor points, let's say in this conference room, we are saying that there are 4 APs, but still my Wi-Fi is not stable. So administrator can actually click on the conference room floor and he can see the score of this particular point. He can see, okay, everything is fine, there is something wrong. So there is something else I need to troubleshoot, right? So this gives you an insight into network. So you can see there is a pentagon and you can see all are in a good shape, right? So let's see if there is any problem, something like this. You have multiple APs and all APs are using same channel, creating interferences. By looking at this, I can understand, oh, there is something wrong here. So everybody is using same channel. So within few clicks, you can fix it. Even if you don't fix it like manually, automatically within an hour, it will optimize by itself. So this one is very, very interesting, and we have got a patent in this. And there are 2 types of wireless technologies. This right hand side one is patented by Telesis, and this one is the legacy operation. So in wireless technology, you have multi-channel architecture. Let's say you have, in this example, there are 3 APs, and all 3 APs are using different SSIDs and different non-interfering channels. Okay. So now on the other hand side, if you can see, we are using single channel across the multiple APs or floor. So how does it help you? Let's say you are using VoIP phone and you are roaming across the floor and you are not jumping from one channel to another channel. Hence you don't get disconnected. You are within the same channel. But with others, right, even we have multi-channel architecture, and there what happens, you are jumping from one channel to another channel while roaming. There is a small amount of disconnection and reconnection. So if I take an example of manufacturing floor, you have various automated guided vehicles. They need constant seamless connectivity. They don't need big bandwidth. Probably you may ask that, Sachin, you are having single channel across multiple APs. What about the throughput? Throughput is of course shared, right? But to address that, now we have got Wi-Fi 6 with higher throughput, right? Okay. So there is a small animation here. When wireless client is roaming from one AP to another AP across the floor, it is not getting disconnected because you are not jumping from channel A to B or B to C. Okay. So many people ask that, boss, what is great in it? So we have got fast roaming, 802.11 kVR. Now, how many wireless clients are supporting 802.11 kVR? Very, very few. What about light layer IoT or OT devices? They don't support, this 802.11 kVR. So we are the first in the globe. We are actually mixing single channel architecture and multi-channel architecture in one AP. Let's say you have one AP having multiple radios. One radio is participating in multi-channel and another radio is participating in single channel. Let's say wherever you need seamless connectivity, you join to single channel. Wherever you need good throughput, where you are not moving across, right, then you can connect to multi-channel architecture. And this one is wireless expansion of your coverage. Let's say this particular area is covered and you have got 3 APs directly connected to the switches and you want to expand RF coverage somewhere in the corner, right? You don't have to lay a cable from your switch to that particular point. You can just bring 2 APs and power it on, and they are connected to the connected APs wirelessly. Okay. So, this is how you can expand your wireless coverage without actually physical cables. So, in wireless also we have got zero touch recovery. If AP goes down, no worries, you can ask any human resource to replace it. So, within 5 minutes your AP is up and operational without any technical expertise involved. So, this one is quite interesting. In Wi-Fi, if you want to detect the wireless client's location, everybody talks about the 10-meter accuracy, because there is a barrier. We have broken that barrier and we have developed vector-based area detection technology, which will give you kind of a 1 to 2 meter accuracy in detecting the wireless client. How we are doing it? You can see vector-based area detection is actually creating multiple triangles. So, what others do? Others do something like this. So, you have 3 APs, you need 3 data sources, 3 RSSI data sources to identify a particular device. Let's say if there is any obstacle here, then you don't get the accuracy. But what we are doing is we are using more than 3 APs to create more triangles. More the data, more analytics and more precise location detection you get. So, AWC, SAC, everybody talks about, let's say, I'll take an example here. So, you have 100 APs to cater 1000 users. Let's say tomorrow 500 people are not in the building or floor, then rest of the APs are still on and they are creating interferences. But what we do here is we shut them, we keep them in active standby mode, hence reducing your interferences. Let's say day after tomorrow crowd is increased, automatically all APs are getting turned on. Okay. So, self-defending network, award-winning cyber security engine we have got. As per NIST, they talk about never trust one. So, you should get collaborated with as many as cyber security vendors or applications to get zero trust network architecture. So, this is what we do. We are getting integrated with over 30 cyber security applications or appliances, which is making us truly ZTNA compliant solution, right. So, we can get integrated with Palo Alto, Fortinet, Forescout, Nozom, you name. So, you know that most of the times viruses or ransomwares are getting penetrated from your own local area network or your wireless local area network, because you have got best of breed, perimeter level securities. So, this is a typical cyber security attack and response trend. Let's say you have infected device which is getting connected to your LAN and that is getting spreaded across your network. The basic functionality of switch is to broadcast, right. Then you have perimeter level security device, which is Palo Alto in this case, and Palo Alto detects and sends an alert to your SOC engineer. But SOC engineer, by the time he realizes that there is a virus in the network, so by the time he goes and fixes it, it is too late. By the time your virus is horizontally spread in your network. So, how we can prevent it? So, this is what it is. We have AMF security STN controller that will get integrated with the NAC, firewall, UTM, IPS, IDS devices, endpoint security, SIEM solution, and we get alert as soon as there is a virus infection in the network. Once we get the alert from these guys, we can quickly eliminate the source of infection within a second or two. And proactively, we can enforce the same policies on the other devices, other similar types of devices. So, in cyber security, visibility is very, very important. So, we give you a visibility in the same dashboard. You can actually see where is the attack, what is the device, and what is the action taken. Okay. So, we have got complete AI/ML led solution for all verticals. So, we have got SD-WAN solution also. So, you get automatic VPN connection, automatic quality of service, and we have got internet breakout. So, quickly, this is the single pane of glass interface, which is managing all these top-notch technologies. Okay. So, by this, we are actually addressing these 5 major points in mitigating. So, thank you so much.